That's what they did today. They put a contract out there to Hassan Reddick, a good value contract, 1-year deal, 14 million, 12 million guaranteed. So that 14 million is probably with some incentive based foundation behind it. And it's a move where I think there's a lot of upside to it. And you have a guy that is going to be extremely motivated, especially after the season he had last year with just all the chaos on and off the field with the Jets and including himself as well. So I think this is a smart move because you get a guy that is a proven pass rusher, Mark. And I think this is definitely a move that's going to benefit the defense for sure.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot more to look into of like what the heck happened last year because the 3 years prior to that, he had the most sacks in that 3 year span than anyone else in the NFL, which is
Right.
huge. I mean, if you look at the numbers, I think he had like 12 and a half, 11, and 16. And he was like fourth in defensive player of the year ratings in that 16 sack season with the Eagles. And then he goes and tries to get more money from the Jets, and then all hell breaks loose, and he only starts 2 games, plays in 10, only gets 1 sack. So what the heck happened? We got to look a little bit more into that, dig deeper into it. But still, like this is a guy coming out. I was huge on. I was a huge fan of him. He has a motor that runs hot nonstop. Powerful hands for a smaller dude. He's only 6'1", like 237, 240, but he packs a punch. Like I just said, like the motor that keeps going. Look at that. Look at that span right there. 12 and a half, 11, 16, 11. That is insanity. And then not just that, it's the forced fumbles with it. Look at that span of 6, 2, 5. Like he knows how to get to the quarterback and not just get there, cause turnovers. And that's something we've never had. And he fits the mold of you can drop back too, right? And he can cover those flats. I was comparing him to like Shaq Barrett because he was the only guy that truly did that very, very well in that Super Bowl run. Like he could drop back
Mhm.
and cover that little area to minimize the. I mean, that's truly the only area of weakness in Todd Bowles' scheme. It's in the flats and then
Yeah.
behind the linebackers. If you don't have a linebacker who knows what the hell they're doing in the middle of the field, yes, you have a gaping wide open hole. That's tying into what we're thinking about later in the offseason and draft. Yeah. I know a lot of people wanted that, but I mean, there's only so many holes you can fix. I think they got a huge one in Hassan Reddick, bearing he gets back to that level of play. But still, like it's a huge signing considering he did best when Fletcher Cox was in the middle. Now he has two in Kalijah
Mm.
Kancey and Vita Vea, and Yaya Diaby is going to be getting one on ones. This guy can win one on ones, easy.
Yeah.
And they were putting tight ends over him. He was flying around them. So like, pick your poison. Like that, this defensive front, you could maybe possibly win with just four. Could you imagine?
Yeah, exactly. I think the biggest thing with him, what he's going to bring to the defense is just a guy that's going to draw attention, and that's important. You have a someone that again you don't necessarily have to lean on. It's very similar in what we said about Khalil Mack, who re-signed with the Chargers. With Reddick, it's he provides that speed rusher that obviously they're looking for a guy that can win on the high side and can draw potentially double teams, can draw opportunities for others, can make others around him better. And of course, this is all predicated on him being focused and determined and coming in with the right mindset, which I feel like he will. I mean, he's joining a locker room, which is probably the best environment he's been in since Philadelphia with what they had there and coming into even a better locker room, I feel, and than Philadelphia because we've seen Philadelphia have their issues with the locker room and their losing streaks and stuff like that they've gone on. Um, so I think from that aspect, he's coming into a room that I think is really going to make him happy, and also it's going to make the Buccaneers happy overall with what he can bring. Now, this doesn't mean the Bucs won't go out and add more to this position. I think they will still probably most likely draft someone. Is that going to be at 19?
Yeah.
Doesn't have to be. It doesn't have to be now. You don't have to force that position. Um, but with that said, let's get into Hassan Reddick here a little bit, and we'll show you guys a little bit of the film and just give you an idea of what this guy can bring if you're new to him. So Yeah, when you look at Hassan Reddick, and a lot of these clips are gonna be from a couple years ago with the Eagles, also some with the Jets, but he's number 7 for the Eagles, and you can just kinda see where he's lined up, and it's a lot of fun to see his ability, his speed, and everything that he has. So when you watch him come off this snap, you can see the instant burst, his ability to maintain balance, and he just runs by the right tackle. Now, this is, I don't know what the right tackle's doing. Well, obviously, they're expecting the running back to slow him down. That doesn't work, and he ends up, getting that pressure. Um, and when you're expecting speed, he can beat you inside. So there's a lot of different avenues to his game that makes it very enticing.
And that's the part of the game that, yeah, younger guys don't really have. It's more just speed or just power, right? Like with you look at Yaya, his main game is just power, right? Length and power. This guy has a little bit of everything. He can win with powerful hands. He can win with speed around the edge, but he also can jump inside, win pushing arms down, staying balanced, like you just mentioned, and getting after it. So he's a savvy to edge rusher. He's put up numbers. He's a proven guy. Yeah, 1 year down, we'll figure that out. But I mean, there's a lot of good things. Like he's a coach that he's familiar with, yes, but there's a guy that can actually put up numbers. I know someone in the chat was mentioning how they wish we would have gotten a number one. I mean, he has a potential of being number one. We're just not going to put that on him because there's so many other good players on this defensive line. Where like look at this, look at the tight end having to jump on over to him. Look how wide he is to get over there, giving the tackle plenty of time to get outside, and he still can't do it. So that's showing the speed that he has around the wide nine as well.
Yeah, right, absolutely, and you can see, like, his ability to win in one-on-ones is evident. When this guy is locked in, he can be one of the more dominant pass rushers, and I think a lot of, translation gets lost when talking about number 1 versus number 2. The Eagles really didn't have a true number 1 either. What they had was 4 guys attacking the
Yeah,
quarterback at all times, and I think that's what the Buccaneers are trying to build when you add a piece like Reddick, who can provide that athleticism that they were hoping JTS could provide, but he just never got to that level. Now you have a guy that can really win with speed around the corner, and you can see this rep here, he wins the outside. And what does he do? He forces that quarterback to step up into the interior, which is what quarterbacks will have to do because they just can't back up and get away from the interior pressure that is coming from Vita Vea and Kalijah Cansey. And same thing here, just his ability to win and create pressure.
and that's what a big part of our game and our scheme in Tampa. Like Todd Bowles is going to send guys in those eight gap blitzes, right? And that's where I'm thinking the draft. We're setting things up because we need a linebacker that can fill those voids. And if their quarterback can't step up, it's easier pickings for the outside linebackers to get one-on-one matchups because everything's centered in the middle. You got Vita Vea that can kill you, and Kalijah Cansey that can win immediately off the snap. So a guy like this can win a one-on-one and capitalize quickly.
Right. Yeah, and again, he just shows a different variety here with, a nice little push and pull action and ability to get by the offensive tackle, and then he's going to finish this play with a forced fumble. So those are the type of aspects that you want from Hassan Reddick. Again, same thing here, ability to create turnovers. That is what Todd Bowles' defense is looking for. They're looking for that ball production, and that is something that he can provide, especially when he gets that interior pressure, like you see there from Fletcher Cox. That is when he's at his best. So there's just some examples of what Hassan Reddick could bring to this defense. It's really exciting stuff. And I think we will be excited to see how this progresses. Again, there's risk, associated with it. It could not turn out to go well. You hope he stays healthy, and you hope that he comes in ready to play his best football because he wants that big contract still. So I think there's something to, definitely take away from that. And hopefully that's what he brings to the table. Hope you guys enjoyed that video as we broke down the film of new Buccaneer Hassan Reddick and what he could provide for the Buccaneers pass rush. Let us know what you guys think. Hit that like button, comment down below your thoughts. And with that said, Until the next one.
We got to do a better job rushing 4. You know, we can get pass rush with pressure, but you don't want to pressure all the time. I think we got to do a better job with 4.